Hello, everybody. Betsy and Stacy here. Before I forget, because I always forget like the stuff that I want to do, we have a great topic where we are definitely going to talk about skipping meals and how that affects your body, and just give you some really just insightful tools and resources. But I did talk a lot about this yesterday at my live class. So if you were unable to go to the live class, because it's like kind of a boundary issue. I try not to do too much out of my zone of when I work, just with kids and life and being busy. So I don't really offer my class too much outside of working hours. So I know a lot of you work and a lot of you miss it. And I always get that feedback, like, I can't go, Betsy. So we have a replay. So definitely just post it in here and say replay, or say I'd like the replay, whatever. And we will definitely be sending that to you. So if you missed it, let us know. And I mean, just maybe wait till you hear us talk here, because this is a really great topic and we definitely touched on it during my class as well. So our topic today is about skipping meals and how that affects your body. And so I would like to know whether you're here now or you are, here later. Let us know how many meals a day you eat. Stacy, how many do you have?
Like six,
Okay.
I think.
I kind of expected that from you. Stacy's an eater, and I am too, but I'm a fiver. I'm a five a dayer.
Yeah, I've had three already today and I haven't had lunch. So
So
there you go.
you start your day really early.
Yeah, so I have two breakfasts because I have one before I work out and then one after I work out. And I know we're not like all about protein, but I try and like put a lot of protein like into the front end of my day, the
After
beginning of my
workouts.
day, so that I can build muscle and all that sort of stuff. So I try and somebody just gave up.
I don't, I'm like, Stacey, you kind of scare people sometimes. Let's just be real. Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I eat six times a day, but I mean, some of those are snacks, so they're not all meals, right? Like one of them was a raw Rev Glow bar, which is not like really a meal, but I definitely eat six times a day for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. And
Yeah.
that's what we mean, like mini meals. Or they might be full meals, but I'm gonna say I'm a five a dayer when I'm very structured with work, because I have a very like clear schedule. I know what it is, I know how to plan around it. Weekends, I like to flow with my weekends more. And I'm gonna say weekends I tend to be more like three meals and one snack. And so I do a little bit less. So I'm
Yeah.
just
I'm
there's
trying to
no
think on weekends I might be a little I think I'm more five. Like, yeah. I definitely have two breakfasts and I always have an afternoon snack and I always have lunch and dinner. So, but the extra like morning snack, that's like depending on how I worked out and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it was just I was at my dragon boat practice yesterday, and it was a guy who was talking to me, who I enjoy talking to, and he was just, Betsy, he's
Oh no, you froze. Oh no, you
like, I
froze.
love reading your stuff. The opposite of they're just telling me to fast, and they're telling me to skip this meal, and so it's very common that our society, or I'm my connection's unstable. Are you guys hearing
Yeah.
me? Okay.
We are now. You froze. You started to say, "Hey, so I was talking to this guy," and then you froze. And then we don't know what he said.
I was
So we're
hitting
all
on the
on pins
guy.
and needles. We're all on pins and needles about what he said. But okay, so
And he asked me out on a date. No, I'm just
oh
kidding.
my
Just
gosh.
kidding.
And so then you had an extra meal.
Yes, we went out to lunch. No, he was saying, I enjoy listening to what you have to say, and I read your information. And it makes sense. He's like, but then I go to my gym and they say the exact opposite of what you're saying. They're telling me to fast, and they're telling me to fast in the morning and late at night. And he's just like, I don't know what to do. It just annoys me. And I'm like, I totally get it. Our society is so confusing. So let's put it in a way of, can we stop trying to find like the go around and like these quick fixes, and can we do what makes sense? Okay, listen to your body, and can you start to get more in tune with your body, and fuel yourself in a way that your metabolism is energized and saying thank you instead of why are you shocking me all the time? Why are you depriving me when I'm about to work out and you're not giving me any fuel? People, does this make sense? No.
No, it always bums me out when I'm working out with my crew, right? So, and they're like, maybe it's a Sunday morning or whatever, and they're just like, I'm starving. I'm like, we start rowing at 7. And I mean, I know like that could be early for some people, but it's like, we're going to be out here for like 2 hours, right? Like, and then I'll ask, like, well, what did you eat? And they're like, oh, I haven't had breakfast yet. I'm like, I've already had 2 breakfasts already by the time we get out here. Like, this is crazy. So it always bums me out when people are like, oh yeah, I'm starving right now or whatever. Like, or they haven't eaten and they're bonking, like we're trying to do something hard and they're like, I don't know, I'm just so tired. And it's like, yeah, because you knew we were coming out here to practice races and it's like
Yeah.
5,000 meters and we're just like, you have no fuel. Like, would you ask your car to do that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Let's go on
like, ooh, we've
empty.
got to
Let's do a road trip and be on.
let's not
Doesn't
put any
hurt.
gas in it first. Let's
Yeah.
load it up with a bunch of stuff, require a bunch of things about it, but let's like not give it any gas. It has gas from yesterday. It's fine. I mean, I did take it to like an empty tank yesterday, but it's fine. I put gas in it a couple days ago. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
just I just challenge you to ask yourself what makes more sense. Okay? Like what's
Uh,
gonna last forever?
there is
Like,
a question.
okay,
Somebody
good one.
wants to know, what do you consider meals? So, I mean,
Good
maybe we should
question.
define that. I think we kind of talked about it a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
So I've worked with an endocrinologist for a long, long time. And so just when you work with someone who's really trying to stabilize blood sugar and hormones, it's like that's the way my brain thinks. My brain is not going to think about calories and let me deprive myself to get to some kind of goal. It's going to be like, how do I have a really steady blood sugar so I feel energized so I can work out and that I have the right combination of fuel so my blood sugar is stable and my hormones are more stable. So to me, that makes way more sense. So when we work with our clients and we are helping them with menu planning, we are going to be calculating what their carb and protein needs are, depending on what's going on in their body, how old they are, like, do they have adrenal issues? Are they going through menopause? Like, there's a lot to think about. If someone's diabetic or have they been dieting for a really long time and have no appetite, we got to like transition in the right direction with the carbs and the protein and the ratio that we do. So even if it's a meal and it's a big meal, and like give a meal example, like just chicken, people might make with rice
Potatoes.
or potato
Yeah.
and some kind of like vegetable or a
Like broccoli or
salad.
something.
Yeah, simple
So,
meal. That's
so,
carbs and protein, right?
mhm. Yeah,
Okay. And then your Raw Rev bar, Raw Rev Glow bar is to us a mini meal because why? Because we checked the bar, we looked at it, we made sure that it has carbs and protein in it. To be real, that is like a little low in carbs, that bar, where like if you were doing it before workout, you might have like a little bit of a banana with
well,
it or
I
something.
I had it with coffee and almond milk.
Hmm, there you go.
So
Like
let's be honest,
confession
there was
time.
some carbs in there. Don't worry, don't worry. There were some carbs in there. So
So whether it's like a meal that you put together and you put love into it, or it's a snack that's just like, okay, I'm gonna have nuts, which is some protein and some healthy fat, and I'm gonna have a fruit with it, an apple and peanut butter. Like it's still, I'm thinking about how to balance this mini meal, which is like a baby snack, or a big meal, a bigger meal, which is more of just the same thing. So snacks have like a little less effort because you don't have to cook them sometimes and they're more simple. So I give carb and protein ranges depending on what person's needs are so that they can see if their things fit in these ranges. And then when we do menu planning, we have amazing menu planning software so that like no one even really has to think about it. They're just kind of drag it into their menu. They have an itemized shopping list. They follow the menu plan. They make it within like 5 minutes, this menu plan. So it's kind of a no-brainer, like as you work with us and you learn how the metabolism works, and we make these balanced mini meals through the day. Hmm. I feel like
Mhm.
I interrupted you. You were going to say something.
No, I mean, the question was just what do you consider meals? I mean, that was quite the answer.
I get
I was
so
just gonna
excited when you
say,
guys ask a
I was
question. Uh-huh.
I was just gonna say, like, you could give an example because you were saying like you would calculate for so let's say you have somebody that's 150 pounds. I'm not gonna say their height or anything, and they're 45 years old and they don't have any like known medical issues, right? Like no autoimmune, no diabetes. They're just sort of
Hmm.
45 years old, harder to lose weight now, and they're 150 pounds. So, about what would that look like for them as far as like a range for like a meal and a snack for carbs and protein? A range.
I just off the top of my head, I was about to get my calculator. I'm like, please, Betsy, just you've done this a million times. You can do this. It really there is a range, but I would probably put them close to like 100 to like 120 grams of carbs through the day. That would be pretty typical. I mean, it all depends if this person wants to lose weight. Do they want to gain muscle? Do they work out a lot? There's so many factors that are involved. But let's just say for an easy number, they need about 100 grams of carbs through the day. Um, Protein, I actually calculate before the carbs, but in general, you want to have like a 1-to-1 ratio at least. Like it's nice to have like either a 2-to-1 ratio or a 1-to-1 ratio of carbs to protein for your meals. So it would be anywhere from like 50 to 100 grams of protein for this person. And every meal is different. So honestly, it would be a big range for carbs, a big range for protein. It's the more important part, Stace, is that we teach people how the metabolism works because the whole calculating thing and logging it and like all that is so overwhelming that if you just learn how to eyeball a meal and what your typical range is in a meal, then you can put it together so easily.
Okay. We have a comment that just came up that I totally want you to address. Okay.
Okay.
So Heidi says, I eat breakfast at 10 or 11 because I fast, and it's usually one of these nuts, Greek yogurt, no sugar, cottage cheese, boiled eggs. Go.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's Heidi.
It's
Okay.
Heidi. Yeah, she fasts. She
Mhm.
doesn't eat until 10 or 11. Let's address
Okay.
that
So
first.
Heidi, number one, in the comments, put in replay. Okay. And then Kelly's gonna send you the replay to my class because I go through all of this in way more detail. But if you're here in this group because you're like, yes, I am a woman, yes, I am like over 40, yes, I'm struggling with weight, I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm just trying to get healthier and I'm in a struggle zone, it means that your metabolism is probably damaged and it's trying to get better. But if we fast for long periods of time, and if we are not giving carbs, giving fuel, those are two really big things that are going to slow down your metabolism more. If you're young and you're 21 or you're a guy, it's like you can do these things and you'll probably get results. But the longer you do this now, it's going to backfire on you, where it's again, let's think common sense of what the metabolism wants. Okay, it wants to be fueled. It wants to feel comforted, like, oh, you're treating me well. Like you gave me a little fuel. Oh, you gave me some fuel before I exercise. That's so nice of you. Oh, you're giving me energy through the day. Oh, you're not making me work so hard. So it's kind of, I like to use the term nurturing. Like we can't do what we used to do to our bodies of really sabotaging it by saying, okay, like I'm going to shock you for a long period of time, no food, and then I'm not going to give you any carbs for a while. Like that is the opposite of nurturing your metabolism back to life. You're
Yeah, I
making,
think it can get confusing for people because when we shock ourselves, almost like, you're being starved or something like that, your body will go into fat stores and like burn some of them up and you'll lose some weight, right? But the problem is then you start to eat normal again and now your metabolism is slower.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh man, I just gained all of it back, and then you like try and shock it again, but now you have to be even more extreme. And then people start to think, well, okay, I lost weight, so I'm going to just make that shock my norm. So now I'm like, my metabolism is shutting down. I'm not hungry first thing in the morning. I have more willpower, but really it's your body is like not speaking to you, or you're having coffee or something first thing in the morning, which is suppressing your appetite. And you're like, this is great because it worked. And then at a certain point, you're like, but it doesn't work. But I do it because it did work. So I'm
Hmm.
going to just do it more because it used to work. So
Yeah.
why doesn't it work now? And it's like, because your body's no longer being shocked. Now it's just being deprived. And so that's why, like, all of a sudden people are like, it worked. Why doesn't it work anymore? And it's like, because now it's not a shock. Now it's your norm. And now it's just shutting down your metabolism.
Yeah.
And that gets really convoluted for people in their brains because it's like, but it worked. So I should do it.
You're so
Right?
right. I mean, that's a lot. That's, yeah, of
Yeah.
course. We all go back to the times that we're like, oh, this worked. I felt great. Like I looked good. And you just keep coming back to that when, yeah, they're damaging their metabolism with each attempt, each up and down. And then if you keep doing it long term, no bueno. That's definitely your body's not going to like it. So just everybody, please, please take in the thought of like, I want you to be common sense about it of like, how does the body want to be treated? Like, do we want to continue to shock it and deprive it and scare it? Or does it want to be nurtured and we take care of it and we get in tune with it and we listen to it? It's a much kinder way of living this life. And like I kind of got scolded from my team because I was saying I was trying to name what my class should be, and I was like, I was like it's the like I was just saying it's like a holistic approach, and sustainable, and then I was like it's the only way for women over 40 to really heal their metabolism, and they're like you can't say it's the only way, Betsy. People are going to think you're conceited or cocky. But now that you've talked to us and you realize that we're not cocky people, like we
Well, I
it's
did. I saw that. The only solution is what you said. The
yeah,
only real
only solution.
solution. And I was like, Betsy, that does not
I know.
read
Yeah.
like that reads like you're a psycho.
Um,
So yeah, it was funny.
But so now that you have us here and I'm able to talk it through, it is the only solution. It's not saying that it's our way is the highway and it's like because our way is personalization. So it's like it has to be adaptable to your every life. Do you eat out a lot? Do you have a job on the go? Do you sit in front of a computer? Like it has to be personalized for if you have a lot of stress in your life, if you have an autoimmune disease or diabetes, but that like being able to adapt and personalize and understanding how your metabolism works and enjoying the journey is such a beautiful thing. But you really do have to work on healing the metabolism first and
Yeah.
not
And
for
I think what you were trying to get at when you were saying the way is to have a customized solution, meaning like we work with you to figure out your specific, and that would be the only way to have the specific customization. But when you were coming up with the title, we're like, people don't know that that's what we're doing. It
yeah.
sounds very rigid and
Well,
box-like, and that's not what it
and so that is a big piece of it, but the other main part is like so a lot of our society is hurting their metabolism without even knowing it. And through all these ways that are a little bit more like just extreme. So I feel like the only way is to actually heal the metabolism. And then you are preventing disease at the same time, and you're actually feeling good in your body. So it kind of is the only way is to heal the metabolism and do it in a way that is adaptable and personalized for you. So yeah, don't take that personally, anyone. If Heidi, if you like your way, you go for it. Like there is like it's just we believe firmly in this and we're excited to share it and we just see amazing results with our clients. And so if you do want more information and you're just I think the replay is a great next step. If you want to learn more, it was a whole class I taught about this and it was a ton about what you just talked about, Heidi. And then you're always welcome to chat with us. We
Yeah,
do like
she
free
she
consults.
she did put replay in the chat, so
Awesome.
Kelly will
Awesome.
go
Awesome.
through and give you the links.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Fabulous, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Bye.